Fancying something a little bit more exotic than a burger or a hot dog when you visit Magic Kingdom? Want to try something just a little bit different? The Jungle Skipper Canteen might be the restaurant for you. Join us today on Walt Disney World Adults Only as we take a closer look. Welcome, your Royal Highnesses. I'm Natalie and you're watching Walt Disney World Adults Only. Today me and my friends are taking a closer look at the Jungle Skipper Canteen, or to give it its proper title, the Jungle Navigation Company Limited Skipper Canteen. Before we get into the video though, I'd just like to remind you to hit the thumbs up and hit subscribe and the bell notification icon so you know when the next video lands. Have you been to the Jungle Skipper before? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. The Jungle Skipper Canteen is a table service restaurant located in Adventureland in Magic Kingdom and is quite close to the Jungle Cruise attraction with which it shares its theming. Although being a table service restaurant, this restaurant boasts quite a fun, relaxed atmosphere where you can really sit back and relax, taking a step out of the hustle and bustle of Magic Kingdom. It really is a great restaurant. This restaurant is open for both lunch and dinner and boasts a menu that's a little bit more exotic than your normal theme park fare. It takes items from South America, Asia and Africa, the places that you visit on the Jungle Cruise. There are 3 different dining areas to the Jungle Skipper Canteen. The first, and which is quite open plan, is the colonial era mess hall, which is where you'd actually expect the skippers to be dining. There are also 2 smaller rooms. One is the Sea Room, which is the old meeting location for the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. And then there's Dr. Falls' family room as well. All of these dining areas have lots of different artifacts and things for you to look at, most of them from the Jungle Cruise, and what would have been picked up on different adventures. The servers here are all really fun and carry the same sort of jokes as what the skippers would on the Jungle Cruise. Now, I'm sure you'll be all quite interested to find out about the price point for this restaurant. Appetizers are between $9 and $15, the entrees are between $19 and $36, and the desserts are around $9 each. I actually find this pretty reasonable for a table service restaurant at Walt Disney World, especially for really good food. Now, I think it's time to hand over to my friends. We'll start with Dan. I hear you're a big fan of this restaurant, is that right, Dan?
Hey Natalie, I've only dined here once before, but wow, it was amazing. I really did enjoy it and I would absolutely dine here again on a future trip. Now don't hate me, but I am not the greatest lover of the Jungle Cruise. The dad jokes and the fake animals just don't really do it for me. I will do Jungle Cruise on every trip, provided there's not a long wait. But do you know how some people absolutely love this attraction? I'm not that person. I think it's just okay. And I do have a slight chuckle to myself at some of the puns. So this isn't my humour exactly, and I thought I would find dining at Jungle Skipper Canteen to be a little lame. Well, I didn't really have a skipper cracking the jokes and pulling out the bad puns throughout my dining experience, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. I dined here back in 2017 and I went with a friend from work who used to be a cast member at Walt Disney World. We had tickets that day for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and so we went here for an early dinner before the party started. Well, the hostess on the podium was absolutely lovely. She was fun, friendly, and joking that she was going to come and join us for dinner as well. She was really cool. From memory, I think we sat in the mess hall. I remember it being vast and loud. The theme in there was really, really great. We were on the Disney dining plan, and so we had an entree, a dessert and a drink included in our table service credit. And back then the drink was only a soft drink. And as we were going to be going to the party and staying up late, we didn't really want to be too full up, so 2 courses was perfect. I remember having the taste like chicken because it is, and it was really, really good. It came with jasmine rice, a chili glaze and some vegetables as well. I will start by telling you the chili glaze was delicious, sweet but with a real good spice hit. The chicken was perfectly cooked, it was fried and the coating was really crisp and the meat was succulent and juicy. Now, I am not fussed by rice, the rice was just rice. The vegetables were cooked al dente, they were really, really nice and crisp and firm. This dish was priced at $24 but I was on the Disney dining plan using a table service credit. A really great dish, and I 100% recommend you try this. It's really, really tasty. My friend had the Dr. Fall's signature grilled steak. It had a delicious pico de gallo butter, and I think it was also served with rice as well. Of course, I had to taste the steak. It was really good, and it was priced at $35. For dessert, I had the coconut bar, which came with a pineapple basil compote and vanilla ice cream. It was a vanilla chiffon sponge with coconut lime and a white chocolate ganache. These are all flavours that I love, particularly white chocolate and coconut are two of my favourite things. It was priced at $8 and it was gorgeous. My only complaint would be it was probably a little bit too small. My friend had the kungaloosh, which was a chocolate cake served with caramelised banana. I didn't get to try this, but he really did love it. He certainly didn't leave any on the plate. This was also priced at $8 as well. I think for my drink, I had something called a punchline punch. It was tropical and mango flavoured soft drink. It was really, really good. This punchline punch was priced at $5.50, which took the total cost of my meal to $37.50. Overall, I 100% recommend Jungle Skipper Canteen, and I wholeheartedly intend to dine here again on a future trip. I think probably on our trip this year in September, we will end up going here. My other half, David, does love a good dad joke, and this food would be really, really up his alley as well. I believe you've been to the Jungle Skipper Canteen too, Taylor, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, Dan, I have tried the Jungle Skipper Canteen once, and that was in 2017, I believe. The restaurant was still pretty new then, and as a Jungle Cruise fan, I knew I needed to check it out. I thought the restaurant was lovely, really, really well themed, and it sort of felt like you were eating inside a library or a museum. I love both of those places, so I felt right at home. We did an appetizer only meal, which is one of my favorite ways to dine in Disney. And that meal started with their celebration bread and honey dip. I don't remember this bread at all, so it must not have been anything amazing. The first appetizer we shared was the shishu mai, which was just a dumpling. It is not on the menu anymore, but it was nice. We also tried the Falls family falafel and the Oranchoco Idas cachapas. I left the meal really, really happy with my food. My favorite were the falafel. I'm a big falafel fan anyway, but these had great flavor and were cooked really, really well. My mom, who was there with me, her favorite were the cachapas, and our server recommended them, and she didn't steer us wrong. Unfortunately, our entire experience at Jungle Skipper Canteen was sort of ruined by a very, very loud party next to us that weren't controlling their children. And honestly, it kind of just put a black cloud over our whole dinner. But I really do need to try this restaurant again and order more than just appetizers. But I do tend to find myself leaving the Magic Kingdom since there are so many great restaurants just a ferry boat or monorail trip away. But I'm sure that Jungle Skipper Canteen will reappear on my ADR list sometime in the future. And I think that you should check it out too, because it's definitely one of my favorite restaurants in the Magic Kingdom. Eric, is it right that you've dined here and want to go back again?
That's right, Taylor. I have only dined here one time, but I cannot wait to return. The Jungle Cruise is one of my favorite attractions in the Magic Kingdom, so I really was excited to go here and experience it and see the atmosphere and the theming for myself. Of course, the restaurant is heavily themed around the Jungle Cruise and the Skippers. It's supposed to be kind of like they're off duty from the Jungle Cruise attraction, so they're your waiters in the dining establishment. When we went there, we actually ate in the SEA, or the Sea Room, which is the meeting place for the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. The Sea Room was really cool. It was not as large as the main dining room area in the restaurant. It was a little bit smaller. The Sea Room had a lot of books, lots of pictures, and interesting things all over the wall. If you have time while there, If you're not dining in the C room, definitely take a walk through. The restrooms are located through that room, so you do kind of have a reason to walk through if you'd like. But definitely check out everything on the wall, check out some of the books and some of the pictures. You might see some things that might give you a little bit of a chuckle. I thought the service here was really great. We had a really good server. I can't remember his name, but he was phenomenal. He did a really great job of balancing staying in character as a Jungle Cruise skipper and kind of having those jokes and the shtick, but also being a really good server. As for the food, my husband and I decided to both get something we would both like, and then that way we could eat half of our meal, swap plates, and then get to try something different. So we actually ordered the steak entree and the hearty har char siu pork. The steak I thought was really good. It came out prepared very well, not well done, but prepared as we asked. It was cooked perfectly. And it came with a chorizo hash, a little bit spicy, but really good. And also I had the char siu pork, which was really, really good. It's got a sweet but savory glaze on the outside. Pork could sometimes be a little bit fatty, but this was not. It was very good, very tender. I thought both entrees were really delicious. And I felt that for the experience and for what you got for your meal, that the price point was not too bad for dining inside of a theme park, especially at Disney World. As I said earlier, I definitely would like to return to the Skipper Canteen in the future. The menu for right now is the same for lunch and dinner, so you're not gonna miss anything as far as the menu goes if you decide to have lunch rather than dinner. Well, Jackie, I've heard you've been to the Skipper Canteen twice, is that right?
Yes, I've been here a couple times before. The most recent this past January. It never fails to light my mouth on fire. I'm pretty sure everything on that menu has some sort of kick to it. I've always had good experiences with the waitstaff and the food at Jungle Skipper Canteen. However, I like to sit in a different spot than the main area. There are actually 2 other rooms that you could sit in. I so want to sit in the butterfly room one of these days. On my last trip, I had the lost and found soup. It was kind of like a butternut squash, curry, spice thing. It was really, really good. It was super cold in January when I was there. I actually had a weird little crunch to it, which I found out was toasted chickpeas. For my entree, I got the tastes like chicken, because it is. Chicken had a sweet chili sauce on top of it. While I do enjoy sweet chili, I didn't enjoy the spice. Sadly, on this last trip, I was not able to get my favorite dessert there, the coconut bar with pineapple basil compote and vanilla cream. Sadly, they were out of it that day. Service was great, even though it was quite busy. Would I visit again? Probably not until the full menu returns. But don't let my opinion stop you from going. This is one of the best table service restaurants in the Magic Kingdom. Now, Carol, I believe this restaurant is on your one and done list. Am I right?
Yeah, Jackie, I was so looking forward to this restaurant, and unfortunately, it is a one and done for me. I'd heard such great reviews, and everybody I talked to just said you don't get a bad meal, and the interactions with the cast members are fantastic. If you like Jungle Cruise, you're going to love this restaurant. So I really had great hopes for a fantastic meal. I was looking forward to that Jungle Cruise humor, and really the only thing we got from the cast member is he put a wedge of paper under one of the legs of our table so it wouldn't wobble. That's really the only thing I remember that was humorous at all. Even the menu was more entertaining than the cast member. I started with the Vermont Sauvignon Blanc, which was crisp and light. Very, very good. I had the jungle green salad, which was very fresh. The vegetables were fresh and crisp. Pistachio nuts added a really nice touch to it. But then we went to the entree. I had the hearty hard char pork, which I expected to be tender because it was a marinated pork. It was tough. I had a hard time cutting it with my knife. It was so tough. My husband had the Dr. Falls signature New York strip. He also thought it was tough and really didn't have much flavor. He had it cooked medium rare, so it shouldn't have been tough, yet it was. It was just a poor cut of meat. The dessert, the kungaloosh, was the high point of the meal. It was a chocolate cake with caramelized bananas and cashew caramel ice cream, which was very good. The chocolate, bananas, and caramel came together to that perfect bite. The flavors blended in together beautifully. That I would return for. But overall, now just the bottom of my must-eat at list. I think that's all of us, so Natalie, tell us why this is one of your favorite restaurants.
Thanks, Carol. Now, I have to say, I've actually only been to the Jungle Skipper Canteen once, but it was such a fantastic experience. It's gone right to the top of my list of favourite restaurants. I've actually spoken about this restaurant before in my favourite Magic Kingdom restaurant. I'll make sure to put a link to that video in the description down below. There are many different dining options at Magic Kingdom, but the Jungle Skipper Canteen is definitely my favourite one, and I can't wait to go back. I will most definitely be making dining reservations on my next trip. My experience of the Jungle Skipper Canteen took place in November 2021. We actually went for the not-so-secret appetizer of the Brazilian cheese bread. This is a set of 9 cheesy bread balls served with a chimichurri and cream cheese sauce. Absolutely delicious, and I will be really hoping that they have this on the menu again when I next go. For my mains, I had the It Tastes Like Chicken, because it is. This was beautifully cooked chicken with just the right amount of crunch, and the sweet chili glaze had just the right amount of kick. Not too hot that I needed a lot of my drink, but just enough to give it plenty of flavour. 2 of the members of the party had the Dr. Fall's signature steak, which was amazing. I managed to try just a little bit because they didn't want to give it up. And I have to say, it was perfectly cooked, very tender, and just a really good steak. I will be definitely going for that menu item on my next trip. For desserts, we each got a different one, so we were able to try the different ones. Now, the 2 favourites were the volcano cake, which is found on the kids menu, which is a typical chocolate volcano cake of sponge chocolate and a melt-in-the-middle chocolate centre. I went for the kungaloosh, which was also a chocolate cake. Can you see a little bit of the theme? It was amazing. The flavours all blended perfectly and really complemented each other. I love chocolate, I love caramel, and I love cashew. It was perfect for me. Our experience overall was fantastic, and all of us can't wait to go back. We had a brilliant server, it was very attentive and really quite funny. The food was really good, perfectly cooked and just delicious, and quite a lot of it. Although we went for an early dinner, we didn't eat any more food at all that day. Overall, I highly recommend the Jungle Skipper Canteen and suggest that you try it at least once. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So I think that rounds out our video on the Jungle Skipper Canteen. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the Jungle Skipper Canteen? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give us a big thumbs up and share it with your friends.
In the comments down below, let us know what kind of videos you want to see from us in the future.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn that notification bell on. That way you'll be alerted whenever we have new content.
If you're not a member of our Adults Only Facebook group, the link is in the description below.
Please join us there for adult-centered discussions on this and many other topics.
And remember, never grow up.